You're not here by accident. There's a reason this message finds you right now, at this exact moment in your life. You've walked through storms no one saw, endured battles you never named, and still, you rise. What's coming next isn't just a win, it's cosmic correction. And you're the proof that divine justice doesn't miss. You're not crazy for feeling different, more aware, more activated than the people around you. You're not too much, you're just in time. There's something in your spirit that refuses to shrink, even when the world tried to box you in. That's not arrogance, it's remembrance. A part of you has always known. You're here to shake foundations, break old patterns, and embody a kind of power they can't predict. This isn't about ego, it's about alignment. You are not waiting for permission. You are the shift. And now the universe is ready to show everyone what happens when a chosen one finally steps into full command. You were never designed to collapse under the weight of energies beneath your calling. Your role here is not reactionary, it's corrective. You didn't arrive to compete. You arrived to course correct. You are the divine counterbalance to their chaos, the recalibration encoded into existence when things spiral too far into distortion. You are the remedy sent before the sickness is even recognized. You are the silent force that dismantles dysfunction simply by standing tall in your truth. And here's the twist they never see coming. While they fixate on your every move, they forget to take a single step forward themselves. Their obsession becomes a prison, a loop they willingly re-enter every day. In chasing your downfall, they lose grip on their own purpose. They become masters of surveillance, amateurs at self-reflection. While they memorize your habits, their own life collects dust and decays in the corner of their awareness. They search for cracks in your foundation, while their own world erodes beneath them. You, on the other hand, remain tuned to the signal of something far greater. While they strategize in secrecy, you co-create in clarity. While they gather others in whispers, you collaborate with alignment itself. They sharpen their tactics while you deepen your vision. The path you walk is not built on resistance, it's paved with intention. They don't even realize how far behind they've fallen. While their gaze is locked on your progress, you've already evolved into someone they can no longer predict, reach, or rival. Their attention is your invisibility cloak. Every minute they pour into dismantling you feeds the momentum of your ascension. You rise not in spite of them, but through the very space they leave unattended in their own evolution. If your heart overflows with divine love, now is the moment to let it shine. Click the super thank you button on YouTube and give $50 or more to help carry God's light to others. Your gift will bless not only your life, but countless others. You are part of His sacred plan. Your kindness may be the answer to someone's prayer. Share your blessings and honor His kingdom. May His grace guide you always. What they wager in fantasy, you invest in transformation. They trade time for illusions. You spend yours becoming unstoppable. The scales are not merely tipped, they are recalibrated by a higher law. You are sculpted by pressure, clarified by betrayal, fortified through storms meant to silence you. Their resistance is your proving ground. Their interference is your forge. And now, the harvest reveals itself, not as vengeance, but as balance. While they barter their future for the chance to delay yours, you inherit the rewards reserved for those who kept building when no one clapped, who chose inner mastery over external validation. The summit you stand on now is not one of ego, but of earned truth. Every stone thrown became part of your foundation. Every shadow cast became contrast to your light. They built schemes, You became legacy, and the difference is permanent. Make your impact eternal. Join now and be a light in someone's darkness. They meant it for evil, but God meant it for good. Genesis 50:20. Just like Joseph, thrown into a pit by people who couldn't see his destiny, you too were dropped, dismissed, and forgotten. But only so heaven could reroute you into divine positioning. They didn't know they were feeding your favor. They didn't know the betrayal was the beginning, not the end. That rejection, it was actually transportation. Every time they tried to bury you, they didn't realize you were a seed, and now the harvest is undeniable. See, what God built in you was never meant to be public before it was proven in private. While they were chasing applause, you were enduring pressure. While they were playing roles, you were getting refined in real time. You didn't get this wisdom from watching. It came from wading through the fire and letting the flames burn off everything false. This kind of strength, it's not borrowed from a book or mimicked from a mentor. No, this kind of strength was birthed in lonely nights where no one checked on you, in quiet tears when you kept going anyway, in invisible battles that left visible glory. You didn't learn to shine, you were pressed into brilliance, not by chance, but by covenant. Your process wasn't punishment, it was preparation. And what you carry now, that's not hype, it's holy. That's not talent, it's transmission. Others bought platforms. You built altars. Others memorized lines. You lived the lessons. Others rehearsed. You resurrected. Now the very pressure that was meant to break you becomes the proof you were made of something eternal. You didn't just rise, you became the reason others believe rising is possible. What God placed in you isn't up for negotiation. It can't be copied, it can't be cancelled, and it sure can't be controlled. So let them wonder, let them speculate, let them call it luck or label it mystery, because you know what it cost, and heaven knows who you are. And now that you've hit this frequency, everything not built to withstand it begins falling away. This isn't rejection, it's realignment. Those who once circled around your light start shrinking back, not because you changed, but because you stopped dimming. Their narratives no longer fit. Their presence no longer belongs. Your serenity shakes their disorder. Your truth strips their masks. And your arrival at this next chapter triggers an automatic clearing of everything too fragile to walk with you into it. Let it fall. Let it go. This is sacred refinement, not punishment. The absence you feel is simply outdated energy exiting your field. These exits are blessings disguised as breakage. Every farewell is the echo of alignment, making room for more. And what comes next isn't a replacement, it's a resonance match. What enters now is built to expand with you, not hold you back. It sees your evolution and rises to meet it. Those who drift away were never going to carry the weight of where you're going. They were lessons, not lifelines, contrast, not companions. The universe doesn't just protect your path, it curates your circle. It isn't chaos, it's cosmic editing. And the beauty is, for every connection that unplugs because your light became unbearable, even more are magnetized by your rise. Not to take, but to build. Not to follow, but to grow with. For every exit that stings, there's an entrance already forming, bringing collaboration, expansion, and purpose that mirrors your own. This isn't loss, it's upgrade. This isn't the end, it's your next alignment point. You're not losing people, you're being cleared for alignment. This internal shift you've been navigating isn't just an emotional upgrade, it's a full-scale, energetic reset. What feels like disconnection is actually divine filtration. Your path now demands resonance, not proximity. So those who can't rise with your frequency naturally fade, not as punishment, but as preparation. What leaves your life isn't rejection. It's recalibration for a higher timeline that's calling your name louder than ever. The moments that brought you to this point were never random. There's a larger rhythm at play, moving you like a current toward your soul's exact coordinates. You didn't stumble into this awareness. You were summoned. And when beings like you converge across timelines, those clinging to control structures feel the shift in their bones. They've always known your kind would come together eventually. The only question now is how long you'll let outdated programming distract you from what's already encoded in your destiny. The transformation happening in your life doesn't stop with you. It echoes in every direction. Forward, backward, sideways, across time. You're closing loops your ancestors couldn't. You're ending contracts they didn't have the tools to finish. You're rewriting spiritual scripts that were long thought permanent. What they endured in silence, you dismantle with awareness. What they accepted as fate, you now recognize as illusion and dissolve with intention. If your heart overflows with divine love, now is the moment to let it shine. Click the super thank you button on YouTube and give $50 or more to help carry God's light to others. Your gift will bless not only your life, but countless others. You are part of His sacred plan. Your kindness may be the answer to someone's prayer. Share your blessings and honor His kingdom. May His grace guide you always. Your rise changes the texture of your bloodline. The reality you're creating becomes the launch pad for those who come after you. Obstacles they were once born into become optional scenarios. The healing you activate forms their foundation. This isn't just evolution, it's correction. You're offering resolution to unfinished stories generations long. They watch in places unseen, not in judgment, but in awe. Your breakthrough validates their struggle. Your success completes what they could only begin. And it doesn't stop at family. What you do reverberates through every soul connected to your energy signature. Your elevation initiates access for countless others, some you'll never meet. Patterns collapse in households you've never entered, awakening sparks in minds you'll never speak to. You are a key, living and breathing, that unlocks freedom coded into your presence. You weren't designed to live a life of mere personal wins. Your essence carries templates for collective evolution. Every insight you receive is a signal from a higher plane. Every moment of clarity is data sent from a grid of consciousness working with you, not for you. You are not chasing alignment, you are the embodiment of it. Coincidence stopped applying to you long ago. What looks like chance is cosmic choreography. Your journey doesn't follow randomness, it follows instruction. You're not imagining your impact, you're living proof that when a soul accepts its design, timelines bend, paradigms break, and entire frequencies ascend. The world isn't just watching, you're giving it permission to remember itself. And that changes everything. There's a level of perception operating through you that no mask can survive. You don't just hear what people say, you feel the weight behind their words before they're even spoken. Your energy field reacts before your mind needs to. There's a clarity within you that detects misalignment instantly. Your intuition functions as a radar calibrated by something far beyond intellect. It reads vibration, not vocabulary. What others need time to analyze, you see in an instant. The moment something is off, your entire being knows it. Your path is buffered by a form of guidance that doesn't conform to logic or science. It reroutes danger with subtlety and precision. Situations that should harm you seem to dissolve before they reach you. People with hidden agendas feel resistance when they try to come close. What they call coincidence is your protective architecture working behind the scenes. The more malicious the intent, the more chaotic their plans become. Your very presence disrupts what doesn't belong. Make your impact eternal. Join now and be a light in someone's darkness. You don't guess your next move, you receive it. There's a stream of insight moving through you constantly, refined and exact. It doesn't imitate what already exists. It reveals what hasn't been seen yet. The solutions that come to you aren't recycled. They're transmissions from a system designed to keep you ahead of what others call obstacles. The inner voice you've learned to trust isn't just a feeling. It's a coded signal aligned with your divine function. None of this is random. These capabilities were selected with precision to match the work you were sent here to complete. You aren't gifted in the casual sense. You're equipped. The inner technology you carry responds to your specific frequency. It wasn't given for decoration, it was deployed for purpose, and it activates more fully the moment you stop doubting it. As this expansion continues, something else shifts: your relationship with value. What once felt out of reach begins pouring in, not as reward, but as correction. The compensation withheld from you by unfair systems, dishonest people, or limited beliefs begins flowing back, multiplied. What was stolen, blocked, or delayed finds its way into your hands through unexpected channels. This isn't luck, this is cosmic balance restoring itself. Wealth no longer dances at the edges of your experience. It integrates, not as an escape from lack, but as a tool for mission. Your ability to receive now reflects the scale of your impact. You're not just meant to survive, you're meant to fund transformation, your resource to reach, to build, to heal. You're not being enriched for comfort alone, but for influence that reshapes lives. And the timing, perfectly aligned with the version of you that can carry abundance without distortion. You've proven your clarity under stress. Your commitment to truth didn't falter under pressure. You showed grace in drought, so now you're trusted with overflow. What breaks others at the peak? You've already withstood at the base. Watch what happens next. The opportunities once kept from you now reroute and multiply in your orbit. The doors that were slammed begin opening without force. The very structures that denied your rise begin shifting to support it. This isn't just a comeback, this is full recalibration, and you're the axis. You're stepping into a realm where access to your blessings no longer runs through human hands. What's aligning for you now isn't tied to effort or external permission. It flows through unseen channels, carried by intelligence far beyond the systems that once tried to restrict you. You've entered a protected phase where disruptions simply fail to register. What used to shake your peace can no longer find a point of contact. You're not avoiding the storm. You've risen above the weather pattern entirely. The drama that once circled you begins to dissolve, not because others changed, but because your frequency no longer hosts the vibration that fed it. That job chaos, that family loop, those relational tangles, they begin untangling or disappearing because your inner world stopped inviting dysfunction. What once demanded your reaction now receives your silence. What once disturbed your focus now bounces off your field as if it never existed. The love that's coming isn't here to test you. It's here to match you. You're not being asked to earn affection or prove your worth. This time, connection arrives as confirmation, not as another classroom. You'll recognize these souls not by the intensity of their presence, but by the ease they bring. Where others depleted you, these ones pour in. Where others competed, these ones mirror your glow. This isn't romance born from scarcity. It's relationship built on resonance. Support shows up wrapped in warmth and intention. Safe spaces form around you without you needing to build them from scratch. You're surrounded not by people who tolerate your evolution, but by those who celebrate it. You'll feel it in the way your nervous system relaxes when they speak, in the way your ideas feel safer when shared. You're finally in rooms where your brilliance is nurtured, not managed. What used to trigger you doesn't reach you anymore. You've become fortified, not hardened, but protected. Your frequency acts like a natural filter. Scenarios meant to sabotage you can't take root because there's nothing in you left for them to cling to. The chaos some try to deliver meets a closed circuit. You no longer respond, you repel. And while others scramble for tactics, your navigation becomes internalized. You're no longer collecting advice, you're translating divine signals in real time. The pull in your gut, the knowing in your chest, the clarity that lands without explanation, that's not coincidence. That's your direct line. You don't just have intuition, you've become a satellite for higher intelligence. What others seek in books, you access in stillness. Your guidance arrives with precision. It doesn't suggest, it confirms. It speaks before logic can catch up. It warns with silence, affirms with chills, redirects with a sudden shift in energy. That internal pulse you've learned to trust. It's not guesswork, it's encoded truth. You're no longer just moving through life. You're tracking a frequency too sharp to be intercepted. Those who operate in shadows can't decode it. Those who operate in truth are drawn to it. You're not chasing the path. You are the map. And where you're going, interference simply cannot follow. Some beings move through life with an internal calibration that doesn't rely on the shifting input of their environment. While others scramble to interpret the visible signs, these souls are already acting on the truth behind the veil. Their perception doesn't filter through fear or opinion. It sources from a timeless awareness that renders surface-level games irrelevant. Attempts to mislead or confuse them fail before they begin, because no illusion can anchor itself where reality is the foundation. When recognition arrives, it doesn't knock gently, it storms in with the weight of destiny fulfilled. And while others await titles from institutions or applause from crowds, this victory announces itself in silence, felt across timelines where battles were fought in their name without their conscious awareness. This isn't a win based on status. It's a result of alignment so precise, no force of manipulation could replicate or deny it. If your heart overflows with divine love, now is the moment to let it shine. Click the super thank you button on YouTube and give $50 or more to help carry God's light to others. Your gift will bless not only your life, but countless others. You are part of His sacred plan. Your kindness may be the answer to someone's prayer. Share your blessings and honor His kingdom. May His grace guide you always. Decisions now come from a different altitude. There's no more chasing, proving, or surviving. There's only choosing from a place of knowing what already belongs. The voice that once doubted has gone quiet, replaced by a calm expectation of excellence. Movement is no longer reactive, but magnetic, attracting rather than forcing. Former obstacles fade as new doors appear, precisely when needed. The old struggle to justify one's presence dissolves. Now, space expands to match the truth of one's essence. The ripple effect of this awakening goes far beyond the personal. It ignites dormant courage in others, still tangled in patterns. What once looked like isolated triumph becomes the spark that reshapes what entire communities believe is possible. This isn't the end of a journey. It's the proof of concept, a living reminder that what seemed unreachable isn't just attainable. It's inevitable for those who commit to walking in full alignment with the truth of who they are. This new role isn't about superiority. It's about stewardship. It's the responsibility of embodiment. What was once a private evolution now becomes a public blueprint. Those who witness the transformation begin to recalibrate their own vision of what strength, clarity, and purpose can look like. The energy that was once used to survive is now used to illuminate the path for others. And the presence of this fully awakened force begins to shape the reality of every space it enters, not through force, but through the sheer power of what it proves is possible. Here is a fully reimagined version of your provided text, rewritten from the ground up to maintain only the core concept while using all new metaphors, structure, and language. The tone remains bold, inspiring, and spiritually charged, but the wording is entirely original and transformative, in accordance with the creative and legal criteria you've outlined. A shift occurs when personal growth becomes collective ignition. One individual's rise sends signals to the field, coded pulses that awaken others not through lecture, but through lived demonstration. The wisdom earned through scars and silent choices begins to ripple outward, unlocking hidden doors in hearts not yet ready to name their longing. You're no longer the one reaching out in the dark. You've become the hand others find in their awakening. Make your impact eternal. Join now and be a light in someone's darkness. What once looked like solo success now functions as communal elevation. Your movement forward creates momentum behind you. The individuals entering your orbit are not drawn by your status. They're summoned by the resonance of shared purpose. They arrive not as fans, but as aligned collaborators. These souls don't just watch you evolve. They synchronize with the pulse of your mission. Together, you form a collective catalyst designed to spark transformation on a wider scale than any one life could manage alone. And something ancient recognizes it. The architecture of existence adjusts itself around your rise. Not because you demand it, but because you've grown too large for the spaces that once confined you. The old systems built to resist your kind begin to falter, not through protest, but through irrelevance. Your presence recalibrates what is considered possible, shifting the gravity of entire realities. What once rejected you now restructures around you. The impact reaches beyond your name or your narrative. It disrupts patterns others mistake for fate. It disturbs the sleep of those lulled into believing their limitations are permanent. Your example whispers to them, that story they told you isn't the only script available. And they begin to listen. The echoes of your breakthrough stretch across timelines. Structures designed to exclude you find their supports collapsing. Networks that overlooked your value start unraveling as the flow of power redistributes itself along a deeper integrity. The illusion of control, so carefully maintained by those threatened by your essence, fractures under the weight of truth. Those who once attempted to contain your light now struggle to locate their own. The tools they use to block your access become instruments of their own stagnation. The energy they spent resisting you now operates like a boomerang, returning with amplified force to dismantle the very thrones they clung to. This is not vengeance, this is alignment. The universal order, vast and indifferent to ego, has entered its balancing phase. It doesn't punish, it recalibrates. And in that adjustment, all things hidden are revealed. All things stolen are returned. All voices silenced are given stage. What you embody now isn't merely success, it's a living correction to the imbalance. A spiritual inheritance returned to its rightful bearer. And with it comes responsibility. To anchor this expansion not in superiority, but in service. Because your presence is no longer just personal, it is permission for others to rise.